Welcome back. At the top of your page, you should see multiply and divide whole numbers, multi-digit multiplication using the standard algorithm. So today what we're going to do is we're going to find the product of multi-digit whole numbers, meaning multiple, there's quite a few digits there, using the standard algorithm. That's the fast way. That's the way that your parents would have learned when they were growing up. This is the way that you'll probably use the most often when you are doing your multiplication. Okay, so in your notes, let's go ahead, find the product of 267 and 73. So we're doing 267 times 73. Again, let's write it so the number with the most digits is on top, okay? And then we're going to multiply the bottom number's lowest place value by the top number's lowest place value. So 3 times 7, that gives us 21. We're writing the 2 above the 6 and the 1 below. But why is the 2 written above? The 2 is written above because that 2 is worth 2 tens. We got 21, 2 tens, 1, 1. So instead of us writing it all down here like we did partial products, we are simply writing it above so that we can do our addition right after we do that multiplication. It just creates a lot less numbers and work to look at, so it makes it a lot cleaner for us to track our work, okay? All right, let's keep going. We're going to do our 3 times the next lowest place value, which is the tens place. 3 times 6 is 18. And then we add this 2, 18 plus 2 gives us 20, right? The 2 over here and the 0 over here. Now remember, that was 3 times 6 or 3 times 60. Well, 3 times 60 is going to give me 180, but I'm going to add another 2 tens, which gives me 200. So I wrote a 2 above the hundreds place, so that way I can add all my hundreds values together before I put them down here. Okay, everything that the 3 is being multiplied by is being added and combined to make just one big number. Then we move on to the next lowest place value, which is actually the highest place value here. 3 times 2. 3 times 2 gives us 6, and 6 plus 2 gives us 8. Okay, that 8's not just 8, that 8 is worth 800. Remember, because we had 3 times 200, which is 600, plus another 200, which gave us 800. That's where we're getting these numbers. All right, let's move on to the next place value. I like crossing these off. Why is it important to cross out the numbers that were regrouped after they've been added? We do that because we want to make sure we don't add those numbers again. We already added them, so we want to make sure that we don't add them again because we want to make sure to only add the new numbers that we write above. Okay, so I'm going to put a 0 here, but I'm confused. 7 times 7 does not end in a 0. So why did we write a 0? Well, that's a placeholder, because remember, this number is not just 7 times 267. This number is 70 times 267. So instead of writing 70 here, we took out the 10 and simply wrote that 0 that belongs to the 10 here. That way we don't have to worry about it until later. Okay? Let's move on. So 7 times 7 gives us 49. Write the 4 above, the 9 below. 7 times 6 is what's next. We get 42, and 42 plus 4 is 46. Write the 4 above, the 6 below. Then we are going to do our 7 times 2. 7 times 2 is 14. And 14 plus 4 gives us 18, and we simply write that number down. Then we're going to add these two together. 1 plus 0, that 0 again is really important, gives us 1. 0 plus 9 gives us 9. 8 plus 6 gives us 14. 1 plus 8 gives us 9. And 1 plus nothing gives us 1. So now we have, oops, 19,491. I'm going to go ahead and estimate to check to see if my answer makes sense. I'm going to round this all the way up to 300 and this to 70. 300 times 70 gives me 21,000. 21,000, pretty close to 19,491. Pretty close. All right, go ahead and find the product of 394 times 54. 394 times 54. Pause the video. Okay, we're back. So we're going to find this product. Again, write that number with the most digits on top and the 54 on the bottom. 4 times 4 gave us 16. That's this first one that you see is crossed off because we didn't want to add it with this 2, right? 4 times 9 gives us 36, plus 2 gives us 37. You see it's crossed off. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 plus that 3 is 15. Then we move on. We have our placeholder because we know that 5 is actually worth 50, so we pulled the 0 out of the 50 and put it there so that we know that it should end in the 0, right? Let's keep going. 5 times 4 gives us 20. There's the 2, there's the 0. 5 times 9 gives us 45. There's the 4, there's the 5. 5 times 3 gives us 15. 15 plus 4 gives us 19. 19. What did I say there? 5 is 20. We get 45 plus 2 is 47. 47. 5 times 3 is 15, plus the 4 is that 19. Okay, 6 plus nothing is 6. 7 plus 0 is 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 9 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. If you estimated, this would be close to 400. This would be close to 50. I see 4 times 5 is 20, and I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 zeros behind that. So my estimation is 20,000. My exact answer is 21,276. I'd say my answer makes mathematical sense. Okay, here we go. Find the product. Ooh, we have a 3-digit number multiplied by a 3-digit number. I normally like writing the number with the greatest value on top if they have the same amount of digits. So let's go ahead and write 588 on top and 403 on the bottom. 3 times 8 gives me 24. Write the 2 on top and the 4 on the bottom. Then we move on to 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24, plus that 2 gives me 26. Write the 2 on top, the 6 on the bottom. 3 times 5 is next. We're going to the next place value. 3 times 5 is 15, plus the 2 on the top gives me 17. Here's my 0, but I need to put a place value holder below after I crossed off those regrouped numbers, of course. I put my place value number down here because remember, this is the tens place, so I have to do something to show that when I multiply, I'm multiplying a number in the tens place. 0 times 8 is 0. 0 times 8 is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. Why do we have 4 zeros when we are only multiplying 3 digits? Because I had that place value. This is in the tens place. Okay, we're going to multiply the 4 times 8, but that 4 is actually worth 400. So for place value holders, I'm going to use 2 zeros this time. We normally only use 1 0. We're writing 2 zeros because this 4 is worth 400, so we're taking care of the zeros behind the 400 spot. Okay, so now everything I multiply here, because those zeros are already in place, I know that's 400 times that number. All right, so 4 times 8 gives me 32. 32. Write the 3 above, the 2 below. 4 times the next 8 gives me 32, plus that 3 on top gives me 35. Write the 3 on top, the 5 below. 4 times 5 gives me 20. 20 plus that 3 gives me 23. We add all of those together. 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 0 is 6. 7 plus 2 is 9. 1 plus 5 is 6. And 3 plus nothing is 3. 2 plus nothing is 2. So we have 236,964. Let's go ahead and see if that answer makes mathematical sense. I'm going to do 400 times 600. That gives me 24. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros behind it. 2, 3, 4 zeros behind it. So I got 240,000, pretty close to my 236,964. So I know my answer makes some mathematical sense. Okay, your turn. Find the product of 702 and 832. Pause the video. All right, so you should have gotten that the 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 8, these numbers, by the way, are for this 7 when we multiplied the 7. 2 times 8 gives us 16, so we have 1664. Then we have our placeholder 0 and all the other zeros that came with it. Then for our 7, that 7 is worth 700, so we have 2 placeholders there. 7 times 2 gives us 14, right? The 1 above, the 4 below. 7 times 3 gives us 21, plus that 1 gives us 22, right? 1, 2 above, 1, 2 below. 7 times 8 gives me 56, and 56 plus 2 gives me 58. When I add these numbers all together, I get 584,064. Here I have 700 if I'm estimating, and I might multiply that by 800. Gives me 56 with 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros behind it. I estimated both of these numbers down, so this is going to be lower than my actual product. Notice how they're pretty close, not super close, but it makes my answer seem reasonable. Okay, here's a challenge. We have 4 digits by 4 digits. Go ahead and pause and let's see how you do. All right, here we go. 4,243,648. Woo! So notice how each time I have more place value holders, that 1 is in the thousands place, which means 1,000 would have 1, 2, 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3 zeros behind it. So that's why we have that many place value. And you can even see the next number would have 4 of those place value holding zeros. And the next value would have 5, and the next value would have 6, and it keeps going and going. So it shows a little pattern. If you show those X's on the inside, it shows that pattern of continuing to grow. Okay, what do you notice about the number of zeros in our work? They keep increasing by 1 each time, right? The first number doesn't start with any, but then we have those place holding zeros adding 1 zero each time. Okay, our next problem just takes a lot of knowledge about how this works. Find the missing digit that was used to get this product. Okay, so here I have 619 times a 2-digit number, but I don't know what the number in the tens place is. If I'm looking at these two numbers here, think about the process and how you write things down. Which number should I pay attention to if I'm looking for the number in the tens place of that bottom number? I should be looking right here at this second number, because this first number is everything that the 8 multiplies and gets. This second number is everything that multiplies to get. So we have our place holding 0 like we should. And then we're multiplying by 9 to get something that ends in 8. Something that ends in 8. Let's see, 9 times 1 is 9, 9 times 2 is 18, times 3 is 27, times 4 is 36, times 5 is 45, times 6 is 54, times 7 is 63, times 8 is 72. That ended with an 8. Okay, I noticed too I have a 1 written up here. So I ended up getting 1/8, which is 18. So 9 times what gave me 18? That was 9 times 2. 9 times 2 gave me 18. So 2 is my missing number. Let's plug it in. 2 times 9 is 18. Ooh, that works. 2 times 1 is 2, plus that 1 is 3. Ooh, that works. 2 times 6 is 12. Yay! 2 is our missing number. 2 is our missing number. Woohoo! Alrighty, your turn. Try to find the missing digit in that top number. Go. All right, that missing digit is 5. That missing digit is 5. Let's see. 4 times 3, that was 12, so we carried a 1 over there. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Awesome. So we see that that 5 works there. What did you learn about multiplying numbers? Well, I learned that there are place value zeros. For things like the tens place, I should have 1 place holding 0. For the hundreds place, I should have 2 place holding zeros. For the thousands place, I should have 3 place holding zeros. And that is going to help me transition from my partial products into my standard algorithm. Okay, go ahead and find the product of 26 times 312. 26 times 312. And you should get an answer of 8,112. Thanks for joining.